Board of School Trustees, sorry, tongue twister, Board of School Trustees meeting. We begin this meeting as we do each meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we have roll call of members.
Good evening, Steve Corona from the 5th District.
Good evening, Antoinette Payne, 4th District.
Julie Hollingsworth, District 1.
Noah Smith, District 3.
Jennifer Mathias, District 2.
Ann Duff, Member at Large.
And to my left, we have Dr. Mark Daniel, Superintendent, Fort Wayne Community Schools, and Angie Filler, Clerk of the Board, and I'm Maria Norman, Member at Large. This evening, we do have awards and recognition. So at this time, we will show a Teacher and Employee of the Year video. And after the video, we will honor our guest.
My name is Ellen Buller. I have been at the Nutrition Process Center for 7 years. I became a secretary, but in my current role, I've been the assistant manager for 4 years. I am directly over the drivers, so we have 4 drivers. A lot of people don't realize, but they drive the meals out to the elementary schools and the middle school breakfast at night. So they come into work at 2 a.m. and they drive until 10 a.m. So they directly report to me, so I have a lot of logistics that I'm in charge of. But I'm also second in command, I guess you'd say, of this whole facility. I am largely the only one to do warehouse reports to, so all the food that comes in, inventory control, but I also answer questions and deal with the production. Well, when you think about how we do supply meals in the summer as well, because kids are not, in school during the summer, and there's still a need for some families, especially with the growing price of groceries. Our work doesn't stop, even though school stops. We will continue to feed children through the library system or camps that the city puts on. So there's always a need, kids are always hungry, and we're always there.
I am the reading interventionist at Whitney Young. My job is to support students who are struggling with reading. I bring them to my room in the intervention room, and we work in small groups, working on letter sounds, and working on becoming what we call super readers. We work in a group that is not a competitive group, but we work collaboratively so that we can all learn to become better readers. This year, we were able to move 37 students so far from below or at below grade level to grade level or above. And here I'm tearing up again because I tear up every time when I look at those numbers. I'm just elated by what we have accomplished this year. And there's more to come. Our numbers aren't done yet.
The thing that brings me joy the most is seeing my students develop throughout the year. Like I'm so proud of how much my students have grown in just a short 180 days. And I think one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is, this being my first class of full 9th graders. I am excited to see where they will be come graduation and just looking back and reminiscing on where they started. Remembering my why and who I am. I grew up in this community. I didn't come from a wealthy background or have access to all of the resources that are out there. So I grew up in a community that poured into me and gave me opportunities that I might not have necessarily had otherwise. Being a part of so many kids' villages, just seeing the kid who hasn't experienced a lot of success, whether it be in a specific subject area, in the school setting, or disciplinary wise, the aha moment for me is seeing them realize that they've experienced some success.
My face hurts from smiling. Okay. It is recommended that the board recognize the district's 2025-26 Teacher and Employee of the Year finalists. Each year, Fort Wayne Community Schools request nominations from principals and unit heads for the Teacher of the Year and Employee of the Year recognition. In the spring of 2025, FWCS received 72 applications and narrowed them down to 18 finalists in 3 categories. These finalists were interviewed by committees, which selected 2 teachers and 1 employee as the 2025 FWCS Teachers of the Year and Employee of the Year. We would like to formally recognize the finalists for their hard work and dedication to the students of the district. Elementary Teacher of the Year finalists, Jacob Bars, Northcrest Elementary School, 3rd grade. Stacy Brooks, Irwin STEM Magnet School, kindergarten. Isabel Collins, Harris Elementary, 1st grade. Allison Lewis, Croninger Elementary School, art. Courtney Rupert, Glenwood Park Elementary School, 4th grade. And those are our Elementary Teacher of the Year finalists. Thanks, Stacey. Congratulations. Now our Secondary Teacher of the Year finalist, Deanna Cassiano, Amp Lab, Grow Lab. Melissa Depew, Wayne High School, Freshman Seminar, Theater Director. Rebecca Girding, Tolles Intermediate School, English Language Learners. Nicole Hines, Northrop High School, 9th grade English. Adrian McCaig, Memorial Park Middle School, Language Arts. And those are our Secondary Teacher of the Year finalists. Congratulations. Employee of the Year finalists, Shannon Foster, Blackhawk Middle School, School Counselor. Oh. Karen Kleindienst, I probably butchered that. Bloomingdale Elementary School Case Manager.
Much better than I.
Okay, yeah, well, there's that. Holly Lichten, Haley Elementary School Licensed Therapist. Kirsten Ramsey, Price Elementary School Media Clerk. Alicia Walker, Amp Lab Secretary Treasurer. And those are our employee finalists of the year. Okay. It's recommended that the board recognize Nutrition Process Center Assistant Manager Ellen Burr as the district's 2025 Employee of the Year winner. In the spring of 2025, FWCS received submissions from principals and unit heads for the Employee of the Year honor. 36 staff members were nominated for the honor. A committee was established to select finalists, to review the nominations, and interview the finalists. A committee chose 18-year employee Ellen Burr, Assistant Manager of FWCS Nutrition Process Center, as the 2025 Employee of the Year. Ms. Burr, we are honored to have you as part of the district. Please come forward so that we may congratulate you. Okay. Next up, Teacher of the Year. It is recommended that the board recognize Whitney Young, STEAM Early Childhood Reading Interventionist Deanne Joustra, and Southside High School Special Education Teacher Sierra Miranda as the district's 2025 Teacher of the Year winners. In the spring of 2025, FWCS received submissions from principals for Teacher of the Year honor. Committees were established to focus on either elementary or secondary nominees, with each committee selecting finalists to interview. After the interviews, each candidate chose their respective Teacher of the Year. The 2025 FWCS Elementary Teacher of the Year is Diane Joustra, reading interventionist teacher at Whitney Young STEAM Early Childhood School. And the 2025 FWCS Secondary Teacher of the Year is Sierra Miranda, Special Education Teacher at Southside High School. Please come forward so that we can honor you, and we are just excited that you're a part of our district. Congratulations. Yes. It's been a long day for me, so I'm going to keep it short, but thank you so much to all of our staff, our teachers, our principals. I love this district. I'm a part of this community. I'm a product of FWCS, so any chance we get to celebrate our staff, our teachers, our staff members, it's always a truly an honor to be able to do that. So thank you so much. We appreciate the work that you do every day. And now that is it for awards and recognition. So we move to the consent agenda, which includes approval of minutes from our regular board meeting on August 25th, 2025, vouchers and payroll, the personnel report, and required disclosures. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second. Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Jen. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Dr. Daniel?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. So we do have a person moving into a different position, and I'll say from my perspective, someone who's definitely going to influence the entire district. So with that said, I'd like to introduce Adrian Schroyer, Director of College and Career Readiness and School Counseling. So Adrian, if you'd please stand. Adrian came to Fort Wayne Community Schools in 1999 as a school counselor intern at Jefferson Middle School and Wayne High School. She then went on to serve as a school counselor at East Noble High School, Lane Middle School, Kikianga Middle School, and Shawnee. In 2009, she became coordinator of school counseling at Snyder High School. In addition, she has taught courses in school counseling and psychology at the University of St. Francis. With more than 25 years of experience in counseling and higher ed, Adrian is committed to counselor development and preparing all students for post-secondary success. I'd also add one other thing. She's had at least one counseling intern or practicum student every year since you've started with Fort Wayne Community Schools. Some years you've even had multiple. So this is a position that we see as we move down this road of how do we move our students to be as successful as possible, especially with the new diploma. So with Pathways, and we have seen Adrian do some amazing things at Snyder, and we expect that then in all of our high schools. So again, best practices, really one of our own coming through the system, but also, you know, Adrian has a knack for being able to work with others, to collaborate. I'd also say we probably are at one of the most critical times as high schools in our state, because this is a new phenomenon. We've addressed it through Schools of Success, but if I would look at AMP Lab alone, Snyder consistently has more students who will journey through AMP Lab because they're after experiences. We also know that as we look at our advanced placement courses in our college credit or dual credit courses, how do we continue to ramp those? So one of the things that I think as we look, yes, experiences are important, but also rigor is important. So as we continue to move our students to higher levels of rigor, and again, Adrian has that knack. She gets kids through. She continues to, and I want to say, you know, really support students on an individual basis so they graduate. So consistently, Snyder's had one of the higher graduation rates, not just within Fort Wayne Community Schools, but throughout the entire area. So Adrian, anything you'd like to say, or you just want to sit down now?
I mean, I will say we just had our first
for the mic.
I'm excited to say we just had our first counselor collaboration today, this afternoon, and this is the first time, no offense to you, Dr. Dino, but we no longer will have leadership as it was in all the years past. I'm sorry, but the first time that all of our counselors got together and we had true collaboration with high school and middle school counselors, and we had like unanimous, I had so many messages afterwards saying thank you and appreciation for the work we just did for 2 hours this afternoon. We toured the Career Center on Cook Road, which so many of our counselors have never seen before. Right. So the first time we did real intentional collaboration during our time together. So I am so thankful for you to give me the opportunity to spend that kind of time and meaningful time with our counselors. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you. Okay. That concludes our consent agenda. We have no old business, so we move to new business. Steve, are you up and running? Thank you.
It is recommended the board accept the extracurricular account reports for the second semester of the 24-25 school year. State code requires an accurate account of all money received and expended by extracurricular accounts. All extracurricular semester reports are audited by the business office and are available for inspection for 10 years. And Kim Zabodi, how do you say that last name? Zabodi, an internal auditor, is here to answer any questions about this information.
Thanks, Steve. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Tony. Any questions for Kim?
How many accounts does this represent and roughly how much dollars flows in and out?
I would say in the extracurricular accounts, I'm going to say $1.4 to $1.6 million. And there's an extracurricular account in every school.
Thanks. Great opportunity for some of our businesses and giving individuals out there too to contribute to individual schools, right? They can go to individual schools or even whole programs within schools. So
Absolutely.
Yep. Any other questions? Thanks, Kim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Next up, we have conscious discipline coaching for 25-26. Tony, are you up and running?
It came off my. All right. No, I have it. No, thanks. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. It is recommended that the board approve the purchase of in-person coaching from Conscious Discipline Master Teachers with Loving Guidance, LLC, in the amount of $305,760 for the 2025-26 school year. 3 master teachers will provide coaching at 6 focus elementary schools: Abbott, Bloomingdale, Indian Village, Shemba, South Wayne, and Studi. The goal is to support adults in developing self-regulation skills and in understanding brain science as it applies to both themselves and their students. The funding also includes virtual sessions for administrators to support implementation. Each mental health grant will fund these coaching sessions. Dr. Griffin, Director of School Climate and Culture, along with Reagan Fry, Manager of Student Mental Health, will be available to answer any questions.
Thanks, Tony. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second. Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Jen. Any questions for Dr. Griffin or Reagan?
Can you describe for us the profile of a student who might need this extra assistance?
Yes, all students. So I'm going to say all students because really what it's doing is giving the adults the skills in order. If we look at our discipline data, failure to comply, disruptive conduct, it could be subjective, but that's our highest referral rate, and that's because there are those tools that we don't have in our pocket to be able to address every student need within our building.
Okay, so I might be mistaken in what I thought this contract is to do and who it does it for. Is it for students or teachers?
Both.
Okay.
So it's not an easy answer.
Okay, so aside from teachers, I mean, you're not really going to spend all of your time on with every student, but there are certain students in every building that need a little bit more attention. I guess I want to know what that student
It's
is
usually
doing
going to
or
be
not doing.
It's usually going to be a student who is dysregulated, a student who isn't able to stay in class, a student who the normal structures that we have on that tier 1 level for everyone are not working. So for example, I wish she was here with me, a senior in high school that remembers this from when I was with her in elementary school. So we're saying it's been 8 years and she can still tell me the 4 types of breathing in order to calm her body and different things that she learned in her time with me, but that was something that was taught to all of the students.
Is this a service we now provide
In what way?
in our buildings?
So we have numerous buildings. Conscious discipline is open to any of our buildings. Some
And we're doing
buildings,
it now.
yes. So leader is the one who is charging that. So if the leader has that within their well-being goals, within their SIP plan, and then we come alongside them with a 12-month plan. I meet with the coaches and the administrators to see their goals, and then we measure it from there.
And so the goal of what you do is to minimize disruption in classrooms?
And give teachers better tools in order to manage.
Yeah. I think this is very important. And I think it's the fact that when, on occasion, we lose parents, it's because of the lack of discipline in that classroom. And it's really, really important that we are able to tell parents thinking about enrolling their child in our district that we're going to have order in our classrooms. So I'm excited about what you continue to do for us.
Absolutely, me too.
Are these 3 master teachers already FWCS employees, or they come from Loving Guidance LLC, or what?
They come from Conscious Discipline, so under the umbrella of Loving Guidance. So they're in different parts of the state. We do have 2 of them actually are in Indiana that are certified instructors, and then we have 1 that's out of state.
And we've done this kind of training at other schools for other, to Steve's point, for other teachers?
We have. We've been on this journey for many years, and it is more, because it is adult-driven, if somebody wants that, it's hard to say, you're going to do this, because this is what the kids need, but somebody needs to want to have that change in order to lead the building within that, with the training that they provide.
And so we're doing this in 6 schools. Will all teachers in those schools be included in this training, or certain select ones?
So what happens is they have to first attend a 5-day training. It's all day for 5 days, so you're there from 8 to 5. That's the prerequisite in order to get training. And so those teachers who've attended an institute, is what they call that, then are able to practice those skills they learned within that week. And this coach is coming in. They work with up to 4 teachers in the building when they're coming in on those months, and they are utilizing those practices that they learned within the training. So many times we go to training and then we aren't fully implementing when we get back, even though the information's great. There's so many things that are happening that this puts it as a priority, and also has that accountability factor of all those people that we have sent to training that now they're getting coached in order to implement effectively.
And this is for the full school year? So how many personal visits is this from the company, excuse me, or the?
It's a total of 78 days.
Thanks, Reagan.
So the teachers involved in this have already, this past summer, I guess?
Yeah, so
Gone
it's been
to the
this past
institute?
summer or the prior year, we had an academy that we held here at Snyder. And this past summer, if somebody attended, but yes, if they had that at any time over the past 3 years, or when we've had this grant, they've been able to attend a training, that is the prerequisite for it.
And does the funding pay for teachers to attend that institute?
Each grant has been paying for that.
Okay. Okay, great.
Approximately how many teachers do we have who went through the prior training?
So if we do certified and classified, I mean, there's going to be over 200 that have had the full training. I don't have it broken down with classified or certified, but I could get that to you.
That's okay.
Any other questions?
I'll just side comment, I saw a friend of mine in the last 2 weeks as a preschool teacher at Studi, and she's really pleased with what they're doing with conscious discipline and feels like it's really helping her in the classroom and with the students, so.
That's great.
Good affirmation.
Yeah. Can you remind me of how long we have this each grant for?
As long as everything's going as it's planned, it's until December 2027.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Reagan.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, next up, we have the K through 12 robotics competition grant. Julie? Thank you.
It's recommended that the board approve the acceptance of the IDOE's 25-26 K through 12 robotics competition grant in the amount of $30,000. This grant is the result of Indiana Code, blah, blah, which is intended to expand opportunities to increase interest and improve skills in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics through participation in competitive robotics programs. With this grant funding and financial backing from partnership, all 5 Fort Wayne Community School comprehensive high schools will engage in the first, that's an acronym, of Indiana robotics competitions, and 13 of our elementary schools in VEX robotic competitions, as well as taking the challenge of designing a unique robot for these 25-26 academic year events. And Matt Schiebel, Executive Director of Safety and Community Partnerships, will be available to answer any questions.
Thanks, Julie. I liked your ad lib. Is there a motion on the floor?
Move for approval. Second.
Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Julie. Any questions for Mr. Schiebel?
How far will this money really go? Because I think that we've had several discussions on robotics and the expense of robotics and everything that goes into that in the past. And this just seems, while I'm grateful that they're offering $30,000, it just seems kind of like a low number for what it entails.
Yeah, at the high school level, it's probably less than a third. So, we got $5,000 for the high school. That'll cover one entry. We know medical informatics engineering has offered $7,000 per team, either in actual donation or kind of in-kind supplies, which is actually a partnership that we have with AMP, with some students kind of helping manage that process. And then probably the bulk will be the Don Wood grant of competition. That can sometimes be 5 figures. And then we'll have to rely on donations from our community and business partners.
So to be clear, one competition for one team can be as much as $10,000 or higher? That's what you just said?
Entry fee for the first robotics, which is a high school, can be $5,000. Our teams generally enter 2 competitions, and then occasionally we have teams go into state or world, and that's when I look at Shanita and say, how are we going to find this money? And usually somehow that happens. So it's a very expensive sport, but it's also, again, when you look at the number of robotics teams around Allen County, there are very few. And for us to have all 5 of our high schools competing is really quite remarkable.
And roughly how many kids are participating in each high school?
I think it varies from each one. I think an ideal team size is 8 to 10. Sometimes too many cooks in the kitchen type of thing. But I think we have teams that are 25, 30, down to kind of that 8 to 10. I think it grows like every other successful program, so I think you see more people getting involved. And it does provide an opportunity for students that maybe don't have interest in our other co-curriculars, people that are not interested in sports, not interested in music, not interested in some of those other co-curriculars.
How many, so we have 5, and you just said there's very few in Allen County, and we have 5. What would you say the state of Indiana, just a rough
number-wise, I don't know. One of the things we know is that Indiana, compared to some of the surrounding states, is pretty low in robotics. Michigan has a bunch, and so a lot of times it's associated with manufacturing companies, particularly oftentimes the big sponsors tend to be car manufacturers like Honda and Toyota in Indiana. So it does help to be associated with a manufacturer. SDI has been a partner of ours for 4 years now with Northside, and really you hope to see kind of that matriculation from robotics to science, math, engineering, all that STEM stuff. So companies that invest with us are smart because they're going to have an opportunity to work with our kids for a handful of years and maybe convince those kids when they're done with us to be able to do, either go to college and come back, which is what we really hope. So a lot of engineering firms now don't even, some of the engineering firms I've talked to don't even do internships for out-of-state students oftentimes because they will come to Indiana, do that internship, and then go right back to the East or West Coast. So one of the things the First Robotics is good for is trying to get kids in front of engineering, architecture, manufacturing firms so that they choose to stay in Indiana rather than leave.
Nice. So what I just heard is how important this is to life after graduation and the community surrounding and manufacturing, et cetera. So a bump in the IDOE's $30,000 grant would be a tremendous asset for Indiana with sponsoring our kids.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, anybody that doesn't believe that money makes a difference in public education doesn't know public education.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, next up, we have our 1028 public presentation. Heather Krebs, Facilities Director, will be giving a 1028 preliminary presentation on the district-wide furnishings, facility improvement, and bus and equipment acquisition projects. And Heather, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Norman, Dr. Daniel, and members of the board. Pleased to stand before you tonight to, as President Norman said, conduct the preliminary determination hearing for the 2026 district-wide furnishings, facility improvement, and bus and equipment acquisition projects. Okay, so this first slide shows our existing debt service tax rate. The gray bars that you see there are our existing debt service rates attributable to our referendum debt, and the blue are the existing non-exempt or non-referendum debt service rates. You'll see in 2026, we're showing a max worst-case scenario of 0.3528. And this includes our 2025 first mortgage bonds that we just closed on here recently, as well as the 2025 general obligation bonds. And those are the remaining portions of our 2020 repair program, as well as our 24 through 26 athletic improvements projects. So that's where we currently stand. And then the projects that are being proposed for 26 through 28, we're looking at two slightly different programs. The first is our 2026 general obligation bond, and this totals approximately $9 million. These projects are determined in accordance with our 3-year CPP review cycle. So they include capital improvements and small renovations totaling just under $3 million at 7 buildings. Those listed are Bloomingdale, Brentwood, Fairfield, Franke Park, Northside High School, North Crest Elementary, and Northwood Middle School. And again, these are just smaller, limited renovation projects. Partial roof replacements totaling $1.56 million. These are occurring at 6 buildings, and these are based on our district replacement schedule in accordance with warranty and life cycle expiration. Site and traffic projects totaling $1.24 million. These are miscellaneous small sidewalk and site improvements at 19 sites throughout the district. General building systems, $380,000, and these are miscellaneous casework, door replacements, and general building equipment replacements at 10 sites. And mechanical, electrical, and plumbing projects totaling just under $900,000. Those include lighting and electrical projects at 8 sites, miscellaneous HVAC equipment and small HVAC improvements at 6 sites, and the replacement of some plumbing systems and fixtures at Whitney Young. And then finally, as part of the general obligation bond program, we are budgeting $2 million for purchase of 11 buses for the transportation department as part of the bus replacement program. The larger part of this is our 2026 to 2028 first mortgage bonds, and these are our next series of larger improvements in the district. This includes a budget of $12 million for renovations at South Wayne, a budget of $10 million to renovate the original building at Levon Scott Academy. This is the portion of the building that was not part of the addition. We did not have the renovation of the original building in that original scope. We weren't able to accomplish that. So this is going back and bringing the rest of the building up to that level of finish. Fairfield and Indian Village Elementary, $1.5 million budgeted for new parent pickup lanes at those buildings to help with traffic flow. $6.4 million budgeted at our transportation center that would include a small addition and renovation of the existing building, replacement of 2 of the bus lifts, parking lot improvements, and removal of some modular temporary buildings that are currently helping to house some of our transportation needs. At Northside High School, we're budgeting $1.5 million to replace and improve the temperature control system at that building. Partial roof replacements, again, just continuing to keep up with the ongoing needs of our roof replacement cycle. $9.7 million over 19 sites within the district. Partial furniture replacement at buildings totaling $10 million. One thing I have always wanted to do as part of our renovation projects has been to replace the furniture along with the renovations, but we've always, I guess, in the past not budgeted for that. So now is the opportunity to budget some funding to go back in and do some much needed furniture replacements at several of our buildings. And then overhead and programming for all of these projects totaling roughly $4 million. So the timeline for these projects, this evening we're here for the preliminary determination hearing, the 1028 hearing. There will be a second opportunity for this at your next meeting on September 22nd. And then on December 8th, we would ask that you approve the form of the lease and all related matters, and also would hope to bring to you at that time approval for initial design and any CMC contracts that we would be proposing. And on January 12th of 2026, we would hold the public hearing on the lease and any additional appropriations needed for potential first mortgage and general obligation bonds. Projects would look to begin in May of 2026 and wrap up in October of 2028. So what this looks like from our debt service rate is we're layering in those green bars that you see on top of the graph that I showed previously. We would plan to maintain a not to exceed combined debt service rate of 0.3728. And you would expect to see multiple bond issuances over the course of that 3 years. And that just helps us better control the tax rate and structures that the interest payments back according to our actual needs. And now the really fun slide. This is all of the ins and outs and financial minutia, but the max amount we are asking for between the 2 series of bonds is $64.1 million. Currently, our exempt and non-exempt debt service levy is just over $40 million, so that is for 2025. and that's a tax rate of 0.3028. With these new projects, that total debt service levy would increase to just shy of $48.9 million, with a total debt service rate of 0.3728. That is based on 2025 net assessed value. We are still waiting on the 2026 certified net assessed values to be released. So once that information is released, we can fine tune some of this information a little bit more.
So that could go down?
It will likely go down, yes. Maximum annual payment would be $22.5 million with a maximum total interest of $62.15 million. That is assumed on a 25-year payback at 7%. Typically, that 7% is very conservative. Typically, what we're seeing right now is about 4 to 4.5%. So again, it will likely be much lower, but we advertise high just to show a worst-case scenario. Maximum repayment term is 20 years per issuance, so the lease term is that 25 years, and that's just to allow us to do the multiple issuances, so that's just a maximum term. Our annual debt service, including new bonds, overall is 0.4%, and outstanding long-term debt, including all long-term debt from other local taxing districts. So just to be clear, that's city, county, fire, airport, that's everyone. So the total overall debt burden on the individual taxpayer based on all taxing units is 5.54%. Again, this is all based on 2025 net assessed value, so as we get the new assessed values in, these numbers will fluctuate a little bit. And with that, I will take any questions that you might have.
How many classrooms are at that hallway in Lavelle and Scott? Is it 8 to 10?
It's probably, there's 2 hallways, we're probably talking 16 to 18 classrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a demand for classrooms in that part of town?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Other questions?
Okay. Noah, you're our numbers guy.
That looks like what we thought.
Okay, all right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much,
Thank
Heather.
you very much.
Yeah. There's no need for a motion or a vote on this recommendation. So there's that. And that actually ends our agenda items, which leads us to board member comments. Steve?
I do not have any additional comments this evening. Thank you.
Just congratulations to all the teachers that were awarded tonight, and other than that.
Yes, congratulations to all of our teachers of the Teachers of the Year, Employee of the Year, all of the finalists. You know, what we have, 72 applications, I think, we talked about, and that was just for, I think, Teacher of the Year maybe, but I think it's just you know, teaching is such a collaborative and team sport that it really, even though we have selected Teachers and Employees of the Year, you know, it's kind of a recognition for all of our teachers and staff because, you know, nobody does it by themselves. So congratulations to everyone. And just one comment about, since our last meeting, I think it was announced that in the state of Indiana, you know, there are income-based child care vouchers that you can get. And the state of Indiana, in those funds, is facing, I think, a $225 million shortfall. So they have decided to cut the reimbursement rate for those child care vouchers by anywhere from 10 to 35%. And that means that child care providers are even going to have to charge more, or they're going to go out of business. Now, contrast that to the decision that the state made when it comes to school vouchers. What the state of Indiana decided to do is expand those vouchers so millionaires and billionaires can now get the state of Indiana to pay partially for their private school tuition, which estimates are that's around $200 million, which would go a long way toward making up for the shortfall in childcare. So I find it an interesting choice of priorities, or let me say, a really disappointing choice of priorities by the state of Indiana. That's it.
Thank you for bringing that up, Julie. I concur. As we noticed, our Greater Fort Wayne, Inc., which is the Chamber of Commerce, and the Indiana Chamber of Commerce also supports early childhood education.
Yeah.
So it seems contrary to what you think the groups that control our state, the business folks, seem to want.
It's a lot of lip service.
Yeah. As all of us, except for Steve, are graduates of this fine institution. Steve's been here long enough. I'm sure I'll have an honorary degree somehow. We all have different experiences and connections here in Fort Wayne Community Schools. And one of the people on our personnel report, I was sad to approve to retire, but she assured me this is what she wants because she wants to be a grandma more than teach right now. And that's Melissa Fife. And Melissa was my daughter's first experience at first grade at Arlington Elementary. And we've stayed in touch with her as my daughter has. And I really thought when I told my daughter, she'd kind of get a little teary, but she said, good for her. So Melissa, thanks for all you do for my family and for all the Fort Wayne Community Schools. I know she had thousands of kids through the years. She's one of our many rock star teachers that we have throughout the district. And so I just want to thank her and say I approve that begrudgingly, but per her wishes. That's it.
Thanks, Noah and Jen.
I also want to say congratulations to all those teachers and all of our teachers, but I also want to thank those who were behind the scenes and putting on a very nice presentation over there, including the food and the food services and everything else that made the night special for everybody. Along the lines of what Julian just mentioned about pre-K, I think about that all the time. We do attend Greater Fort Wayne Inc.'s priority sessions and other things, and I know there are factual information out there that shows how important pre-K is to the academic success of our children. And we also know how important it is for the economics of our community to have people working. So for me, I cannot wrap my head around why we would have an expansion in vouchers for this end and taking away from this end when we need an outcome that we're all looking forward to as an academic successful outcome. So we sit here and we listen to this over and over, and we have all these people who support early childhood education, but we can't get there. And it's really frustrating because we know we have a wait list of children that need pre-K and parents who need pre-K and people who need jobs to go back to work so they can't afford pre-K. So if there's anything that anybody's listening to tonight, and any chance that you have to go out there and express your frustration to your legislators, speak up, because I want to see children be successful, and I want parents to go back to work and young people to go to work. And so without us and our voice and continually telling them that and spending your time with our business leaders who support early childhood education, they need to be speaking up too. So if you know any of them, please speak up. We would greatly welcome having more pre-K in our schools. But with the limited budget that we have and the resources that we have, we just can't do it. But we want to have your children in our schools. So please, please speak with your legislators.
Or you can vote. I need people to get out there and vote. That's a big thing that can change the trajectory of the state. And I'm bringing up this topic, even though it's not my favorite, but in regards to the school shooting in Minneapolis, I just again want to thank our voters for their wisdom to vote yes to our safety referendum. Nothing is foolproof, but our Peacemaker program, our student advocates, the mental health therapists we have, these are people who interact with our students every day. And when we wanted to do this referendum, that was what was so important to all of us on the board, was people making a difference in the lives of our students. So again, thank you for doing that. We've got to remind our students, again, see something, say something, and I hope that our advocates and peacemakers are working on that. But thank you, community, for voting yes. Also, congratulations to all of our teachers that were nominated. I greatly appreciate all that you do. You make make a difference in the lives of our children, so continue to do that.
Thanks, Sam. Dr. Daniel?
So in regards to the ECA account, as of June 30th, it was about 2.1 million. So just a little bit of adjustment there. Also, we worked very, very hard, and I want to say it was April the 7th, April the 8th, where we had the whole pre-K, I'll just say, registration, apply for the On My Way pre-K funding, i.e. the voucher. We have 600 plus students on a waiting list right now. So I'd say we did a very good job of going out and pushing that forward. Last year we had 155 students who received On My Way pre-K funding. This year we have 75 right now. So again, you can see what's happening, and before the 155 were around the mid-30s. So we really have concentrated effort on how to increase. It takes roughly 8 students to receive On My Way pre-K funding for us to operate that classroom.
And how many did we have qualify?
Over 600 plus. So we don't know exactly, again, I'll just say, well, I couldn't say it better than what Julie said. So we understand the importance of pre-K. We understand the importance of opening up classrooms in buildings for these families, and everything everyone said, just spot on, and something for us to push back on. So that's all I have for today.
Thanks, Dr. Daniel. One thing that I wanted to share that I was able to do was to go to the Schools of Success Parent Advisory Board, I think is what it's called. Tony was there. But it was really a great experience. Thank you, Matt Schiebel, for sharing your passion and love for the Pearl Arts Center. So even though I thought I knew all that students were doing at Pearl Arts, it was lovely to see the facility and then learn about the opportunities that our students have there at the Pearl Arts Center. So there will be our next student or parent advisory session will be at Construction Trades, and it's the end of October, but it's run through community and family support, so Madison Wallace and Danita Washington. So that was a great program. A lot of community resources were there as well. So an opportunity for families to connect with resources in the community, with FWCS, learn about opportunities that our students have. So even if you think you know all about the programs and what's available at Construction Trades, like I said, I live and breathe all of this, but still learned a lot. So those were great sessions, and you get to meet other FWCS parents. So that was nice just to kind of get out of your bubble and go meet new people. So I just love the way that our school district supports our community, our parents and our families, our students. So thank you so much for that programming, Danita and Madison and Mr. Schiebel. I think that that's all of my comments. Our next school board meeting is Monday, September 22nd. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Will we adjourn, Madam President?
Second.
Well, goodness gracious.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?